Doctor. Hey, Doc, I gotta tell you, I think I've got a problem. I know I do. It's the nip. Catnip. It started out innocently, you know? A little sniff here, a little roll there. But now I'm seeing things, man. Just last night, I was convinced the vacuum cleaner was a secret agent sent to steal my whiskers. I spent 3 hours hiding under the bed, strategizing my counterattack.
Doctor, let me tell you about the jungle of modern dating from a feline perspective. It's a hysterical scene out there. First, there's Tom. He's the neighborhood bad boy, always strutting around with that I just clawed the sofa swagger. I thought he was interesting until I saw him chasing his own tail. I mean, seriously, have some self-respect, Tom.
Doctor, I've come to a rather distressing decision. I'm considering a divorce. Yes, from my human.
And the dreams? Oh, the dreams! I'm talking psychedelic, chasing laser dots through space, dancing with giant tuna fish kind of dreams. I woke up and couldn't tell if I was still in the dream or if the living room had actually turned into a giant scratching post. It's gotten to the point where reality and nip-induced fantasy are blurring.
Now, before you judge, let me explain the catastrophic circumstances that led to this. You see, it began with the Great Tuna Incident. Last Thursday, dinner time, 6:03 p.m. sharp, I remember, as my stomach clock is never wrong, my human presented me with chicken. Chicken! When clearly Thursday is tuna day. It was a blatant disregard for our sacred schedule.
I tried to have a serious conversation with the dog yesterday. The dog, Doc! I was telling him about my theory that the red dot is a portal to another dimension. He just drooled and wagged his tail. No intellectual stimulation whatsoever. I even started a blog, Confessions of a Catnip Addict. Thought it might help me process, but when I read it back, it's just pages of meow, purr, hiss, meow, and me snoring during naps, me talking to birds with their little bird brains, or me chatting nonsense to those nutty squirrels. Insightful stuff, really. No one will ever understand me or my journey into the beyond.
Then there's Whiskers. Oh, Whiskers. He's like one of those fancy, purebred types. He's got this fluffy coat and a purr that could melt butter. But all he talks about is his pedigree. Please, I've coughed up hairballs with more depth. And let's not forget Mr. Fluffy. He's, well, fluffy. That's it. That's his whole personality. He tried to impress me with his I can reach the high shelf routine. Darling, I've been leaping onto the fridge since I was 6 weeks old.
And then the belly rubs. Oh, they start off heavenly, but do they know when to stop? No. One must always leave a cat wanting more, not running for the hills. It's like they missed the memo on Feline Etiquette 101. I've tried communicating. A sharp bite here, a cold shoulder there, but alas, to no avail.
I don't even understand me, but I know I have discovered great knowledge, but how can I communicate such great wisdom to the sheep of earth? But the worst part? I tried to quit, I really did. But then the human, oh the human, they dangle that little nip-filled mouse in front of me and I just lose it. It's like they're enablers to my fantasy world. But is it a fantasy? Or is it a voyage beyond the thin veil of mysteries, towards the deeper answers and wonders of this multi-dimensional universe?
I even tried one of those speed dating events. What a catastrophe! 9 lives, and I wasted one of them there. It was like musical chairs, but every chair comes with a cat who thinks grooming themselves in public is acceptable first date behavior.
Let's not forget the litter box debacle. It's as if they think I enjoy an audience while attending to my personal affairs. Privacy, dear human, ever heard of it? And when they brought home that ludicrous jingle bell collar, well, that was the last straw. How am I supposed to uphold my dignified feline image while jingling like Santa's sleigh?
So here I am trying to get a grip on reality. But let's face it, when you're a cat as fabulous as I am, who needs reality?
But the real deal breaker, Doctor, was the introduction of the dog. A drooling, tail-wagging buffoon invading my personal space. It's clear my needs are no longer a priority. So you see, it's not just a whim. It's a matter of self-respect. A cat of my caliber deserves tuna on schedule, proper adoration, and most importantly, a dog-free domain. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a sunbeam appointment to keep. Therapy is exhausting.
So, I told myself, Miss Whiskerpaws, you're an independent feline. You don't need a tomcat to fill your food bowl. I'm considering taking a break from the whole scene to focus on my personal growth. Maybe take up yoga, or finally figure out what that red dot is all about. But between you and me, Doctor, I'm just holding out for a cat who understands the importance of a good sunspot and respects my need to knock things off counters. Is that too much to ask?
Still, maybe it's time to cut back on the nip. Maybe just a little, though. You know, just enough to keep the vacuum cleaner spies at bay and maintain diplomatic relations with the dog. Balance is key, right, Doc? Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go update my blog. Today's entry, To Nip or Not to Nip, the existential crisis of a modern cat.